everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with Kevin Stay of Halo Power, and today we're going to be talking about some of the issues that people who are purchasing an older home should know about before jumping in. So Kevin, let's talk about it. Step number one, what's one thing that people should be looking for when purchasing an older home?
Absolutely. And when I say older home, we're talking homes, say, pre-1980.
Sure.
A lot of these homes, homeowners buy them and everything works in them, but they're not aware that there's upgrades that will need to be done, or there's work that may have already been done that was not safe at all. So let's start with the electrical service.
Sure.
Now, if you're in old neighborhoods in Edmonton, there's still quite a few 60 amp services kicking around, and it's because the insurance company hasn't caught up with the homeowner. They don't know that the homeowner actually has a 60 amp service on their detached home, or that house is never sold, because when it changes hands and the insurance company insures that home that you or I just purchased that has 60 amp service, they're going to require that it gets upgraded quickly. Usually, maybe they give you 60 days, then it needs to be done. But the other thing is old electrical panels in general. Even if you have a 100 amp service, there's a number of things that could be an issue with that old electrical panel, especially if it's a Federal, Pacific, Federal Pioneers, anything that's a stab lock panel in these older places, Bulldog panels. There's a number of different ones out there that are notorious that need to be upgraded. The other issue is the old overhead services coming in. If you're in the backyard and you see this power cable coming from the pole and it connects underneath the soffit, the overhang on your home, well, there's a good chance that that is no longer code compliant because of the height. So if you're purchasing an old home and it has an old overhead electrical service like that, you need to know that it's not just a matter of putting a new panel in the basement. Everything needs to be brought up to code. That means tearing everything off the outside of the house and new overhead service equipment so that everything is modern. And it's a cost that some customers choke when they hear about it, because, it's not just a few $1,000s to swap out a panel. It's nothing like that. You're likely in for it for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, depending how much work is involved. And it may also mean that we've got to open up some drywall on the inside of the home to put that new service mast up through your roof. So old electrical panels, old overhead services, old services in general, you need to know before you buy that it will need to be upgraded, and there's definitely substantial cost associated with that.
All right. That's awesome. I think everybody should know that. You're buying an older home, got to be upgraded to today's standards, simply because you won't get insurance because they don't want it to catch fire.
It can definitely come up, especially, with the insurance thing, a 60 amp service, no brainer. The 100 amp service, that's old equipment. I don't think you'll have a problem getting it insured, but you just need to know you've got electrical gear there that's 50, 60 years old. It is going to fail eventually. Yeah.
Awesome. So what's the second tip that you've got for homeowners that they should know about their electrical system before purchasing an older home?
So this applies to the homes built from 1970 up to 79. And of course, most homes in that age era had aluminum wiring installed in place of the copper. And I'm talking about the internal wiring to all your plugs, switches, lighting in the house. Price of copper went through the roof in the 70s. It was before my time, before your time, but you hear stories from the old dinosaur electricians out there that remembered back in the day. But that was it. So the solution was, let's go to a less expensive aluminum building wire that was ran throughout millions and millions and millions of homes all over North America. And it wasn't until later on that the issues with aluminum wire came to light. And that is, of course, that aluminum wire is a softer metal than copper. The connections loosen up over time due to expanding and contracting while under load. Devices that are not rated for aluminum wire connections are being put in homes. There's a number of things with the old aluminum wire. And one thing I can tell you about aluminum in older homes is in our experience, the aluminum wire that is in the best condition is in the home that has never been touched with any type of renovation. You know what I mean? You go in there and there's the seniors living in there that, you know, bought the house brand new, has never done a thing in there. It's a trip back in time when you go back in that house. But you know what? Nothing's been butchered up. Nothing's been touched, and it works. And it's actually still in some kind of half decent condition. But bottom line with aluminum wire and insurance is if you have it and you purchase this home and you go to get your insurance and you check the box that, yes, I have aluminum wiring in your home, in my home, the insurance company is going to require that you have it inspected. Well, I don't like that they say inspected because there's really nothing to inspect. If you have aluminum wire in your home, in order to get insurance, it needs to be pigtailed. This is where we adapt the aluminum wire to copper at your receptacles and switches. With a short length of copper wire, we have to use the proper connection with the proper deox paste, and then we replace the existing device with a new device to connect to the new copper wiring there. So now, just understand, we are not replacing the aluminum wire. We're adapting it to copper. We also have a method that we use back at the panel, but this is what needs to be done if you have aluminum wiring. Now, where I really see the problems is when renovation work has been done, and that will tie into the third issue that homeowners need to know.
All right. Well, don't keep me in suspense. What's the third issue that we run into?
Gotcha. So, oh my goodness, if you are looking at an older home and there's been all this renovation work that's been done, and your gut's telling you that this looks like a bit of a DIY nightmare, there's a good chance it is. And the things we have seen that have been done on house flips, or the previous homeowner that just was a jack of all trades and did everything themselves, right? Electrical connections, installations of new plugs, switches, lighting, the stuff that's been done in the old electrical panel would just curl your toes because it is such an unsafe fire hazard. And the unknowing, new, excited home buyer has no idea what's actually present. And I mean, we hear about it all the time about these house sales that go through with a great amount of urgency. There's multiple bidders. People are waiving needing a home inspection done, and they just buy it because, you know, it was a price that it was a good price, and they really wanted it. And they had no idea what they bought. And then, you know, we come in and have a look, and, you know, here's the telltale of some DIY nightmares that I see. The bungalow, 1960s, 1970s bungalow that's had the wall removed between the living room and the kitchen to open it up, give that great open feel, that open concept. Well, guess what? There is electrical in that wall. And how many do-it-yourselfers get out the sledgehammer after a Saturday afternoon of a few beers and HGTV and open that wall up? But oh, wait a minute, there's wiring running up, there's wiring running down. What do? Pull it up into the attic, put a few splices on it, you know, high junction boxes in remaining walls, tuck them into ceilings and drywall over top. Oh my God. These are the things that the normal homeowner, new homeowner would have no idea about, but you know, you almost develop a sixth sense when you walk into these old homes after you've seen what we have seen, and you're like, I wonder what they did there to make that happen. Another telltale of a renovation is going into a basement and they've got T-bar ceiling. Yeah. Because what's hiding behind the T-bar ceiling? Now, the good thing about T-bar is everything that's up there is still accessible. You can pop some tiles and see, but how many times we have gone into a basement that was freshly renovated and we just bought it, you know, and you pop a tile and oh my God, there is just open connections and old junction boxes everywhere, and wiring ran this way and that way. And this was to connect the new pot lights and add the bang up the bedroom down there.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was no permit in place for any of this previous renovation work, it's a good chance, there may be something sketchy there that was done. So yeah, if you're looking at these older homes and it's being promoted as previous renovations, whether it's a kitchen, a basement, whatnot, ask if those permits were put in place. And oh my God, if you are walking around, look up in the ceilings of the mechanical rooms and that. If you see open boxes with wires hanging out, lights hanging by the wire, a bunch of stuff at the electrical panel that just looks like a mishmash of old and new, and just a rat's nest of wiring going into that old panel, that was not the way that home was built. Something's been done there. Someone was in messing around with the electrical, and it's going to become your nightmare.
Going to be a huge problem.
Oh, it can be. And expensive. Nothing is cheap when it comes to that.
No, especially if you got junction boxes hidden behind the wall.
Oh my good. Well, there you go. Yeah. Drywalled over, you see it in basements sometimes, right? So, I mean, it's exciting to buy, especially if you're a first time home buyer and you found that house that was in your budget and it's 50, 60 years old. Boy, you're also buying the gremlins that are hiding in those walls, and you don't want them.
And they do come with stories. They all have stories.
If they could tell that story, wouldn't that be something, right? So,
awesome. Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Kevin, for sharing your expertise on, these older homes that people are buying. It's always buyer beware. Always, go into it with eyes wide open that it's not perfect. It's an old house. It's got some wrinkles and bumps and bruises, and it may need some work to bring it up to snuff. So thank you so much for joining us. And we will see you guys on the next video.
Thanks.